Well, how's it going, everybody? It's DanFromHali back with another reaction video for you today. That is right, it is reaction time. Are you ready? I am. So we are doing a Patreon reaction. This is a request from Mr. Jim Huff. Jim Huff has been having some issues with his requests the last couple months. One of them, unfortunately, he hasn't gotten a chance to see yet, and that doesn't sit well with me. So I think we're going to be giving Jim his two requests this month. He requested Brad Paisley's Little Moments, as well as Trace Adkins. Where are we at, Jim? Trace Adkins, I Learned How to Love From You. So you can look forward to both those coming at some point this month. Well, you don't have to wait too long for Brad Paisley. Little Moments is right here. And you know what? I'm in a working mode. I just got finished up doing my shift. I'm still got a groove on. I got that work ethic. And, there's no better time than to get down to doing a recording session than now. So that's what we're going to do. So how about I pull up that video so you can watch alongside, and I press play. Disclaimer. This is a Vivo licensed video, so chances are this is gonna take, this is probably gonna take a couple seconds for me to be able to upload after I have to dispute the block and all that jazz, but it is coming, I promise you that. Alright? Alright, let's press play and get down to it.
We met at a Brad Paisley concert.
Oh, did you?
We met at a coffee shop.
She knocked me down 2 flights of stairs, and when I got out of intensive care, we got married.
Oh, that's cute.
That was 53 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I have a border collie. She bit him in the ankle.
And I still fall for her every day.
It's adorable.
She still doesn't like me. The dog.
I like it.
I'll never forget the first time that I heard that pretty mouth say that dirty word. And I can't even remember now what she backed my truck into, but she covered her mouth and her face got red, and she just looked so darn cute that I couldn't even act like I was mad. Yeah, I live for little moments like that. Well, that's like just last year on my birthday. She lost all track of time and burnt the cake.
Been there.
And every smoke detector in the house was going off, and she was just about to cry until I took her in my arms, and I tried not to let her see me laugh. Yeah, I live for little moments like that.
Alright, I think that's a good point to stop and chat for a couple seconds, don't you think? This is really cool. It's a cute, super cute song, very simple, very country. Not too modern country, but you know that nice country that I don't actually mind hearing. This is good. And you know what? I think I might actually like Brad Paisley. There's only been a few songs of his that I've heard, but I think what I've heard I've actually really liked. And this is good. I like it. I like the story. I really like the video. It's really cute. And you know, I think I'm right there with you. I think every good couple has to have that cute little moment story, even failed dates. You know that you found a good failed date story when it has a cute little moment story behind it, right? Something that you can look behind. You know, not everything about it was bad. And you got that story that you can tell other people. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit later, because I got a story for y'all that the way that this opened kind of reminded me of, and it's a good one. All right, let's press play and get back into this. We can talk about that story as well as the song a little bit later.
I know she's not perfect, but she tries so hard for me. And I thank God that she isn't, 'cause how boring would that be? It's the little imperfections, it's a sudden change in plans, when she misreads the directions, and we're lost but holding hands. Yeah!
I'm gonna rewind. Let me just say one thing about relationships. I don't trust perfect. At all. I had a friend who was with his partner for 5 years, and they had never gotten into a fight. Apparently, allegedly. You know, you never know what happens behind closed doors, but they claim that they've never gotten into a fight. Let me tell you, that ain't a healthy relationship. And I'm sorry if you're watching this, and I'm not going to name drop names because you know what I'm talking about if you're watching this. And I love them to death. I actually really enjoy both of them. They're not together anymore, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. Didn't ask questions about how that ended. Didn't want to be the "yeah, I told you so" type of guy, because I'm not that guy. But you know, it's imperfection is good. Having adult moments and adult conversations, and having to compromise and asking your partner to compromise, that's not a bad thing. What's a bad thing is when the other person doesn't care enough to argue. That's when your relationship is in trouble. Now, I'm no Dr. Phil. I mean, Dr. Phil ain't no Dr. Phil either. But that's beside all that. You know what I'm talking about. And I know what I'm talking about. Alright. Now it's time to really get back into Brat. This is a good song. Thank you very much, Jim.
Plans, when she misreads the directions, and we're lost but holding hands. Yeah, I live for little moments like that. She's laying on my shoulder, on the sofa in the dark, and about the time she falls asleep, so does my right arm. And I want so bad to move it, 'cause it's tingling and it's numb. But she looks so much like an angel that I don't want to wake her up. Yeah, I live for little moments when she steals my heart again and doesn't even know it. Yeah, I live for little moments like that.
I never crashed your truck, you know.
Give it time. Ow. What do you have on your head? That's kind of a funny ending right there.
No, we're not doing washing you. No, we're not doing that, guys. No. You're not supposed to see these things. I don't know what just happened there. I don't know. I'm going to leave it here for 2 seconds to let my computer decide what it wants to do. So I really, really liked that song. I thought it was very cute, very sweet. Nothing too complex about the song, and I think that is one thing. I don't want to say that that's a plus or a minus for country. I like complexity in my music. And you can get complex sounding country music, but Brad Paisley's version of country, from what I've heard of him, is not that. And I do kind of like that. You know, you can be a good country music performer. You can be a popular and well off country music performer and not have to be complex, because country music is about the music, the playing, the story, the writing, basically the writing, how the song comes together, more so than the technique of the song, right? Because I mean, think of how many country artists really couldn't sing worth a damn. I mean, for everybody like this, there's a whole lot more out there that has, you know, a gravelly voice that can barely hold a pitch, but he can write a good song. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that you don't really get with rock, because nobody wants to hear a rock singer, or a rock vocalist rather, that just can't sing. Because oftentimes you don't, you know, the music is going too fast, and you're hearing the lyrics at a, you know, a much higher rate, that it doesn't, you know, you don't really click in with the music and with the lyrics and with the story that's being told as quick as you would with a country song, with a country ballad, much like this. So there's a huge difference there, and I really appreciate a good narrative and a good story, and this tells a good story. In its own little tiny way, right? It tells you to appreciate those little things, those little moments. Now, me and my current girlfriend, I say current like I'm going to move on from her, but I don't. I love her to pieces. Catherine's the best thing to ever happen to me, and our entire relationship is made up of these little moments. I really don't know where I would be without her today. I make sure I tell her that on a weekly basis. But early on in our relationship, and we met online, because I'm not from this immediate area. I kind of moved here. I mean, I'm from the province of Nova Scotia, but I'm not originally from Halifax. And I moved here without too many friends in the area. I moved here with actually an ex-girlfriend. So that was my only way to really meet people. And where I working at a nightclub, most of the females that I had interacted with are knock on wood, 19-year-old girls. I hope I wasn't letting in underage girls. So really, you know, online dating was the only thing for me at the time. And early on in our relationship, we had a conversation where we talked about, you know, our top 10 worst dates ever. And so we were telling these stories, and my favorite story of them all, mind you, is there was this one time I was still working at this club, and there was a street event that was going on. You know, we blocked off the street. There was going to be a big DJ come in, and it was going to be a blast. And it was a great night. Everybody enjoyed themselves. No fighting, no nothing. Made for a boring night for me, but you know, it was a great night for everybody that attended. It was easy money. So at the time, I was trying to go on a date with this girl. Melanie is her name. And we were having a really hard time connecting and trying to find a good time to meet each other. So it finally got to a point where she's like, "Yeah, I promise, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be at this restaurant." And I said, "Awesome, I'll be there. I look forward to it." So I'm there. I'm going down to this restaurant. Well, first off, I have my bag for work because I was going to go to the restaurant, grab a bite to eat, meet with her, and I was going to go back because I had to start early that day because of the event. So I dropped my bag off at work, and I crossed the street from the bar, and you know, I have to cross another street a little bit later. And as I'm walking, you know, I'm on my phone, stupid me, of course, and I'm not paying attention. And this is why you should pay attention, because even though it's routine, things do change from time to time. There just so happened to be a sign that wasn't supposed to be where it was. You know, it was a brand new sign, and because I wasn't paying attention to it. It hit me in the forehead. So I fall down. I remember clear as day. There's this Chinese photographer. He's always in Halifax. He goes around the city taking candid pictures all the time. Great dude. And I said, "Hey man, I'm not bleeding or anything, am I?" And he says, "No blood." So I said, "Okay, thank you very much." So I'm walking down the street, and I start to feel this cool sensation going down my face. And I look to my left. I'm passing this building in downtown Halifax. It's basically all black glass. It's a government building of some sort. I think it's the Speaker's office building, or it used to be for the local legislative assembly here in Halifax. And I look, and you can see the blood gushing down my face. And oh my god, for F's sake, I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna end up missing out on this day. I'm gonna text her, and she is literally going to murder me. Nope, not having it. I ended up going to the Starbucks. And I go to the Starbucks, and I ask the barista. It's a fairly empty day. For a Saturday afternoon, it was weirdly empty in the middle of the summer. But anyway, it's fairly empty. I said, "Hey, do you have a first aid kit?" As you can see, I kind of have a situation going on. Nothing big. Just wondering if you might have, some alcohol, some wipes, maybe a Band-Aid. And she's like, yeah, just go into the washroom. I'll knock and bring it into you. So I said, okay. So I go in to the washroom, and there was a guy in there. And then I was like, oh my god. So the barista comes over, is like, "I don't think there's anybody in the ladies' washroom if you're comfortable going in there." So I go into the ladies' washroom, and she comes in, gives me this first aid kit, starts helping me, and she's like, "Oh, this is the smallest bandage I have." And it's like a full head wrap. You know what I mean? Full head wrap. And I said, "Do I look like I need a full head wrap? Because if I need a full head wrap, then I should probably be going to the ER." And she said, "No, it doesn't look like that bad." And at this point in time, I had it all washed off and cleaned. And I was like, okay, good. So I'm just going to take some paper towel, and I'll go find a Band-Aid elsewhere. And I looked at the time. I was like, no, I can still make this. I swear to God, I can still make this. So I texted her. I was like, "Melanie, I'm gonna be a little bit later. Blah 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 blah." So I show up at this restaurant. It's 2 doors down, is what it's called here in Halifax, and I'm still early. I'm still there before her. I don't know if I'm early or if she's late. I forget that bit. So I show up, and the host comes out, and he says, "Sir, are you aware that you are bleeding?" I said, "No. What do you mean I'm bleeding?" Like, "Well, you're holding a white piece of paper towel to your head." I said, "Yes, I know I'm bleeding. I just don't have the time to get into it. It's cleaned up. I'm just trying to, make sure that everything's kind of together until I can get myself a Band-Aid. You don't happen to have a Band-Aid, do you?" "No, sir. But we can't have you bleeding all over our tablecloth." I said, "Man, listen. This is the 6th time me and this girl have tried to set up this date. And if I'm not here, she will kill me. She will murder me. I know her. I know she will. I've been on her to reschedule this thing, and I've been working. I've been, being super patient with her. She has kids, and I keep on telling her, I'll be here when you're ready. Just tell me when you wanna." When you want to do this. Now this is finally the time, and now I'm not going to be here because you don't want a little bit of blood on your tablecloth. Nah, man, I'm having a bite to eat here. So doesn't she show up? She says, "Did you hit your head?" And I do the same thing that I did to the host. I said, "No, I don't know what we were talking about." It's like, "It's your job, isn't it?" Anyway, it goes south really quick. She ends up pacing, and they're, "Well, I made it." So that's the kind of guy that I am. I have to follow through on things. But bottom line is, even little dates, not even sweet dates that lead to something, they're able to have these little moments, something cute, something memorable that you can take away from them, right? And me and my girlfriend Catherine were having this conversation about our terrible dates, and fast forward a year later or so, probably would have been about this time last year, maybe even the spring. It might have been this past spring. She comes home from work and she says, "Dan," I said, "What?" "Do you remember Kaylee? A Kaylee?" Like, I mean, I know a couple of Kayleys. Could you spell it? And she spells it, and I forget how it's spelled, but it's an odd spelling for Kaylee. Very Gaelic. I think it was almost like the traditional Gaelic with the Caeleighh, but with a K. Anyway, it was odd. It was like, oh my god, yeah, I remember her. He's like, well, I just hired her at work. She's just starting, and as soon as I mentioned you, she laughed and she started apologizing profusely because she said that you guys went out on a date and she was an idiot. And I'm not going to get into that because the reason behind that is super personal and it's about my family. But my girlfriend laughed at her and said we had a conversation about the top 10 worst dates that we've had before we met each other, and you didn't even make it. So anyway, I just wanted to have a word about that, right? Because having something that you can remember and a story to tell, kind of like that whole song, even if it's bad, even if it's a bad thing, something to take away from it and turn into a joke or an anecdote. That's something that matters to somebody else. That's an icebreaker. It's a funny story. It's something to get a chuckle, right? Even if it's not sweet. But anyway, that song was great. I really liked it. I can't say too much about his vocals because he doesn't sing with an emphasis on technique. He does have a great voice. It's nice to listen to, but there's nothing to really take away from it. Same with his guitar playing. It's fine. It's perfectly fine for what it is. It's just there's nothing special to talk about. But this is about the story. This is about the writing of the song and what it's about and the message. And that I've already talked to pieces about. I mean, we're here 22 minutes in. I really hope you enjoyed my reaction to this to the song. I loved giving it. And if you did like it, well, like it. Press that thumb up. If you haven't, give me a subscribe already. And get at me down this. I was going to say the subscriptions below. No. Get at me down in the comments below. Thank you guys. I'm going to be seeing you real soon with another reaction video. Look forward to it. Bye.